Backlash. Tampa. Backlash Tampa. A show that I was not 100% interested in. Now, I was interested in knowing what's going to happen with Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. But that was it. Everything else I didn't really care that much about. Not even the announcement from John Cena. I was not interested. Because, let me put this in context for you guys. I've stated this multiple times. But I'm going to say this again. As far as it goes with WWE, there's only one storyline they care about. The bloodline. Nothing else matters to them. Now, will there be wrestlers they care about? Other than the ones in the bloodline? Of course there is. Obafemi's gotten very over. Trick Williams is over. Rhea Ripley is over. I'm not going to really say a lot about Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. But the one that seems to be the most cared about right now is Soroka, because she's new. And Io. That's mainly due to the fact of Kairi Sane. And generally speaking, everyone else is here. You got the bloodline up here. The people I just spoke about are floating right here. And everybody else is here. And that's not the way it should be. Real pro wrestling, you're supposed to have people along the entire card. Not one here, maybe some here, and the rest are down here. That's not how it's supposed to be booked. It's sloppy booking. And as it stands right now, that's what I feel about WWE in general, except for NXT. And even that's not doing perfectly great. There are moments you can easily see Triple H interjecting into the storylines of NXT. It's as simple as that. That's not all Shawn. I'm not going to say Shawn is perfect either. Shawn is Shawn. Shawn Michaels is not one of the greatest bookers there is. He isn't. But he does basic one-on-one booking that he learned himself working in the business for over 40 years. That's the deal. But when it comes to how Triple H is trying to set up Raw, SmackDown, and NXT as cohesive as possible, it makes it very formulaic. I'm sorry, it just does. Now, let's talk about how many ads we got. We got, and here's where it's a little less this time. A little bit less. Now, mind you, I was on one of the apps which had not constant commercials, but you would just have dead air. Nothing. You would see a timer. You would just see repeats of the same people over and over again. I saw that 4 times. 4. Now, while the show was going on, when they were showing back in the arena in Tampa, how many times did we get advertisement while they're waiting before they get the setup for the next match? We got 8, including one where you see Michael Cole, and it looks so stupid seeing Wade Barrett and Michael Cole chugging a root beer. And then you hear Michael Cole go, ugh. I'm like, this is where they fall flat in the face. And easily takes 3 or 4 points off the show for me entirely. That's the truth. That is the truth. Look, we had 8 general ads. We had 8 ads while the show was going on. We had, how many times did they mention celebrities? Roughly about, 3, maybe 4 times? And they gave an advertisement for Triple Mania that's supposed to come out in September. Running from the 11th. Fortunately, September 11th for me ain't one of the best times for it to happen. But it is Mexico. They don't really care about that. September 11th to September 13th. They now do it a 2-day show instead of just 1 day. But this is what we got. Did I care about all this advertisement? No, but was it less than the last time we had? Well, we haven't had we had WrestleMania, which had nothing but ads. Here, all together, with the regular ads that came from whatever is outside WWE. You got the ads that was in the WWE, that was 2 ads. Then you get the ads right before the matches start, which were 8. And then we got 4 times of dead air, which was roughly about 3 minutes and 30 seconds for each. I'm sorry, that just, for me, I'm exhausted of ads. I'm exhausted of it. But that's just me. I don't know about you. If you love the ads, more power to you. But it ain't going down me. No. Okay. Opening match. Seth Rollins versus Bron Breakker. I'm going to be honest here. Because of how long it took to get everything done, it was difficult for this. It was difficult to get 100% into the storyline because once Seth finally did come back and they were building into it, the one major problem they had was Bron Breakker wasn't there yet because he hadn't been fully cleared, and when he was cleared, it was fine. But then there's no Bronson Reed to go with Bron Breakker because that's what he needed. And seeing that the only people they had was Paul Heyman, a little bit of Austin Fury, and Logan Paul was not enough for me personally. Now, of course, once Braun came back, it was a little bit better, but there's no Bronson Reed. And yes, the match was alright, it wasn't bad, and Braun was put over the way he should be. But then, here's the thing. For me personally, without Bronson Reed there, what are you going to do when he comes back? Are they going to reignite the storyline between him and Seth? No. They're going to continue what they got right now. They're going to keep dragging this out until Bronson Reed comes back. I do believe that. Unless they are separating the two, which I don't believe that's happening. I truly believe it's not over yet. And they're going to have to keep dragging this out until they get a proper payoff, maybe at SummerSlam. That's a couple of months away. So hopefully Bron Breakker, along with Bronson Reed, can work together. Because I don't know how far Bronson Reed is in his recovery yet. I don't know. But it's just me. The match, I'm like, I don't care. I know what happened on Friday. I know what happened with the Gingerbread Man was the most stupidest segment there was. It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. I know some people laughed at it and they enjoyed it. More power to you. Like I said before, like the ads. If you love the ads, more power to you. This I did not feel. You know why? They didn't need the Gingerbread Man, and showing all those scenes where Gingerbread Man was there, like at WrestleMania 3. I wasn't at WrestleMania 3, but I was alive during WrestleMania 3, and I was able to watch it on TV with my family. WrestleMania 3. But this was just stupid. We haven't seen Rey Fenix in months, and then he shows up just to show his respect to the Gingerbread Man, which made no sense. And what made this worse, for me personally, once the match started, I should take that back, it's in my face. The intro itself, there's someone extra there. You can see him. It's Little Yachty. I don't give two shits about Little Yachty. I don't care about Little Yachty. It's not because I'm an old-ass man who never cared about the type of music Little Yachty does. I don't fucking care. He's another celebrity they're showing. And even if he's better than Travis Scott, who got fucking drunk and then perforated it makes me angry that he fucked up Cody Rhodes' ear. Because he was just so stupid, actually hitting him really hard and popped his fucking eardrum. Because he got fucking drunk. And also, didn't even mind listening to people say you can show some physicality but not go that far. I'm sick of seeing people who are celebrities in there. I don't give a damn about Jelly Roll. I don't give about Bad Bunny unless he becomes a real wrestler. I don't fucking care about him. Admittedly, I will give him this little bit. He took everything he did very seriously. I'm making it clear when it came to Bad Bunny. Taking away his politics. When he was in that ring, he took it very seriously. He wasn't screwing around. So I will understand if he wants to become a wrestler like BDE, who is a YouTuber. And Bad Bunny was and is a singing star. I can understand if he transitions into it because he took it seriously. Do I care about Little Yachty? No. Get his ass off TV because I don't give a fuck about him. And during that match, this is the thing that gets me. Trick didn't need him. I've seen Trick for 2 years. I'm one of the rare few who saw Trick to be something. Or I could be one of the few that ever stated it, or is one of the people who stated it. If I'm sure there's got to be other people who saw what I saw back in Halloween Havoc 2.5 years ago. That Trick Williams had a great look. He could talk his ass off. He had charisma. The only thing he had to do was prove in the ring. And he did that, and it worked. And look where he is now. He's that over with the damn fans. Why are you sticking him with fucking Little Yachty when he doesn't need to be there? It takes away from Trick. I don't care what anyone says. A manager's there to help people who have an issue where they need to get over, either because they're just not popular and they need someone who is, or they're just not a great talker and they need someone to be able to do it. Like Brock Lesnar when it came to Paul Heyman. What does Little Yachty give? Little Yachty is not a better talker than Trick. He has never been in the wrestling business unless his relative have been in it. Like with Sasha and Snoop Dogg, you can say with Sasha, Mercedes Moné, that her cousin is in, yeah, he did rap, but then he's been in the wrestling business a little bit. So you can at least see he understood it. This didn't make no damn sense. I hated it. And Trick won, but he could have won without Little Yachty by his side. This made no sense. I'm moving on. Done. Here is the match that pretty much was okay. I'm saying it. It was fine for what it was. I didn't hate it. I didn't say I didn't like it. Now, let me give it to you like this. Do I hate Danhausen? No. Do I hate The Miz? No. Do I care about Kip Wilson? No. Because he was part of Pretty Deadly and I didn't really care that much about Pretty Deadly. But at least he is doing some good work with The Miz. Not really great work, but some. So when the match finally happened, we saw the cloning machine, and we see that one of the same lucha wrestlers, the midget wrestlers, I'm saying it because if anybody says you can't call them midgets, they call themselves midgets. That is what they're called, midget wrestlers. That is their title, and they take that seriously. Little wrestlers see themselves as midget wrestlers. If you don't like it, that's your problem, because I'm not telling you what they don't say. They're called midget wrestlers. Take it. But it was fine. Seeing one midget wrestler come out there, I think I've seen him before. I don't remember when. I might have seen him in MLW, because they had a couple of midget wrestlers there. So I'm sure he was from Triple O. Triple Mania is like September 11th. You're telling us now. May, June, July, August, September. 5 months away. You're now telling us now. Why? Why are you rushing to announce this right now? A 2-night thing that you're not going to give them a PLE for. Unless you're going to do a real PLE. They're putting them on YouTube. So why are you announcing it 5 months ahead of time on your main show when you're not even going to give them a PLE of it? You guys tell me below. Tell me. Explain to me why you should care about Triple Mania, which is not going to have a pay-per-view in America. If they do like they did the last couple of shows they had, they threw them on YouTube. Why would you care? Isn't AAA supposed to be important? When they got taken over by WWE, everyone thought that we're going to see them on PLEs, that we're going to have PLEs of Triple Mania. We're going to have PLEs of every show they have shown in America. Guess what? Nope. What did we get? So far, about 4 or 5 YouTube shows. And Triple Mania in September 11th to September 13th, I bet you, I'm sure of it, it's going to be, guess what? Another YouTube show. Oh, they're going to still get paid. They're still going to get paid. And I'm sure in Mexico, they're going to still make their money there. But in America, we get it free. But do you really care if they're going to do it like that when they're supposed to be important to Spanish-speaking wrestling fans? Now, I don't speak Spanish. I'm half Spanish, half black. I don't really care that much about it. I don't care if you're Spanish, black, Asian, whatever. I care about you getting treated correctly. And if Triple Mania was important to WWE, they'll make a PLE out of it, just like WrestleMania is. Will they? I don't know. We will find out. If they do, great. At least they took this show seriously. If they throw it on YouTube, like they did last time, that shows you how much they don't fucking care about AAA. Let's move on. The match that I'm like... I knew the match was going to be good because I know Io and Asuka can wrestle. I know. But did I care about the story? No. Kyrie was not there. Everyone said they heard rumors that Kyrie was going to be there. We didn't see her come out. They didn't show the camera on her. What did we get in the very opening of the show? We want Kyrie. People were chanting. Now, I knew this from the very beginning that when they start really doing their work, that it was going to eventually shift to either booing Asuka or cheering Io. And that's exactly what they did. Of course, they tried to bring up the cheers more and brought down a little bit of the boos or the let's go, we want Kyrie chants. But they saw the same thing I did. They knew the fans would transition over to from Kyrie to the Io or Asuka. And the story was completely negated. It felt empty. And yes, what did we get afterward? We got Io bowing to Asuka, showing her respect. Asuka crying and then hugging Io, kissing her on the head, and letting her have the moment in the ring. I fucking didn't care. Not because I hated Io. Let's make this very clear. Am I happy what happened with Io and Asuka? No. Kyrie needed to be there, and she wasn't, and it sucked. Let's move on to the most important thing here. Let me give you like this. John Cena. We all knew he was going to do an announcement. We didn't know what it was. And we got that announcement, and I'm like, so they had no other choice but to do something like this. The John Cena Classic. That would lead to the John Cena Championship. The JCC title, or the JC Classic Championship. We now get a new title dedicated to John Cena. Don't know when they're going to do this John Cena Classic. Either it's going to be on a Raw, it could be on a SmackDown, or it could be a PLE of itself. Now, did he give a good reason why? Yes, he gave a good reason about how all the NXT stars came and showed off everything they had. And he was so impressed with that, he's gone to the brass, Triple H, and said, let's do a John Cena Classic tournament that leads to a John Cena Classic Championship. I see it like this. The title will eventually be called the JC Classic Championship. Because I don't know how long they're going to keep doing the John Cena Classic Championship. I say it'll be called the JCC or the JC Classic Championship. How long you think it's going to last? Do not know. But this is the thing that's got to be done. John has to be there. Or better yet, John cannot be there. If this title works and it gets people interested in NXT talent that's coming up, fine. This could be an interim title for them while they transition from NXT to the main roster, unless it's a main roster title only. But either John will have to be there to keep the interest going for that title, or John must leave after that title has his first champion and does not come back except maybe once a year or something. Because other than that, what's the point of doing it if John himself, the GOAT himself, legitimately is still in WWE as an ambassador to the company and is going to keep showing up? That's the thing. If John becomes a manager of somebody, if John becomes a general manager, if John does something that keeps him in the limelight there and the title is still there and he talks to the person that has that title and maybe manages them, that could be something. My guess is the best thing would be for John to manage that person. That would be the best thing to do. Once they win the title, of course. But with John, he keeps showing up. What does that mean the title's going to be important if John is still showing up? Most of the time when they do something like this, like when it came to the Owen Hart Classic, I know that's not something great. Owen Hart is dead. I wish he was alive. But those type of things normally are done for people who are not part of the company anymore. And he is a part of the company, and he just showed up. And unless he's going to be the manager of the person who wins, or he's going to be a general manager or something, in some way having some contact with the title, he needs to go away. But that's just me, guys, down below. Final thing I'm going to talk about, hopefully before my battery dies, because the circuit's flashing pretty badly now. That is Roman versus Jacob Fatu. Telling you right now, I'm sure everyone else thought the same thing as me. He's not winning. He's not winning. So what is the question here? Throwing Roman someone to go up against? Was that the reason for Jacob? Or was there a way, like my title says, by not winning, is he over by not winning? I believe that's the title I left. Is he more over by not winning? Let's make this very clear. You look at Jacob. He is popular. People love Jacob. People wanted to see Jacob win. Seeing the work he did on the mic has been great. And it's real life. I mean, Jacob went to jail. He came out, went to wrestling, and wanted to make up for what he's done. Nothing wrong with that. That's what happened with Booker T. Booker T went to jail, came out, and straightened his ass out. No, it wasn't Booker T. Was it? It was, I think R-Truth went to jail. Yeah, I think R-Truth went to jail, came out, and then went to wrestling. And I think Booker T might have got himself in trouble too, once or twice. I think he went to juvie. But the point here is that people who go to jail and try to straighten their lives out and go through wrestling have done pretty well for themselves. Not all, but we got maybe one or two examples easily. I liked Jacob when he was in MLW. He was different. It's good to see that he's doing well here. But is he more over because of what he's done? Let's put it to you like this. Roman had to do 5 Superman punches and 2 spears compared to the 2 Tongan death grips. Or was it? Well, he tried to get the 3rd one on and the 4th one, but he was stopped. We saw Roman cheating his ass off, grabbing the ref, messing up the ref multiple times. Pulls off the top turnbuckle and throws Jacob into it. So Roman had to cheat his ass off to win. And because of it, because he cheated to win, Jacob regained consciousness after his head bounced off the top turn ring that was in the turn row, the turn, that corner that had no buckle on it. And then he started choking the living shit out of Roman to the point where Roman had to get up a lot of spit and started spitting it out like he couldn't breathe. He did that multiple times before he lifts up the title over his head and said, "You see what I said? You see what I said?" Throws it down and probably leaves. Let me give it to you like this. Do I like Jacob Fatu? Yes, I do. Do I still care about Roman Reigns? Yes, I do. But do I care about the Bloodline storyline? No. This is the problem everyone else is not going to see. The problem here is this. We have gone back to the Bloodline storyline. Again. A 4+ year storyline. Not because it's so damn good. And it was. No way to get away from it. Of course it was good. But because it still makes money. Not because it's one of the best stories they've had in years. And people wanted it to go back. Triple H and his writing team brought it back because it made money. And that's all they care about. As I've stated multiple times, and I may leave a connection below, WWE is owned by Endeavor Group Holdings. Endeavor Group Holdings owns TKO, which runs WWE on its behalf. And now, Endeavor Group Holdings is owned by Silver Lake Global. An investment firm is now owning Endeavor, which is controlled by Ari Emanuel, who used to own all four companies. He sold the company, all of them, to from Endeavor, TKO, UFC, WWE. He sold it to Silver Lake, who already had a very large shares of his company. He sold the rest. He doesn't own anything anymore. He's just a CEO. Well, of course, he's going to own some shares, of course, but he's the CEO. As simple as that. Right now, only thing this company cares about is making money. They care only about using pro wrestling to make money, not making pro wrestling. And it shows. Everyone that's working in this company right now feels empty. Yes, you got some wrestlers who are so over, even with bad material, they're still over. But you look at all the new wrestlers that just came in, they're here. And all the wrestlers that are here, they're floating here to here. They're not here. No one's here. They're here to here. Jacob should be here. Do I believe Jacob's going to be there? Yeah. Because he's part of the Bloodline storyline. He will be here. But everyone else is here. Right here. No one here much. And ain't nobody here going to the top. Nothing. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, when they did pro wrestling correctly in WWE, they always had people here, here, here. This is the mid card. You got the main event, the upper card, mid card, lower card. They always, even where they're just jobbers, they always have people here. Now, here, here. Most of the time they go up and down. No one here. Just the people here, undercard, not jobbers, undercard, going like this. And sometimes they may bring them up to here because they need someone to job for Roman or anyone else. Like Jacob Fatu, the Usos, My Family Tree, Solo's group, which is only 2 now, and he's trying to get Powerhouse Hobbs. But you get my point. This is the deal. And the deal is this. They have no structure. None. They used to have structure. Now they don't got any. And it shows because they went right back to the Bloodline storyline, which doesn't mean anything. Hell, the only other faction that exists that could be interesting is Fatal Influence. And they're from NXT and they're the women. Fatal Influence might be the only ones that are brand new. They're a faction and could be built at least enough for the women. Maybe. But it's just me. Peace.